Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, April 5th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern. The truth, the humdinger, busting loose. Unless you become a Buddha, which is basically Buddha, as I said before, it means awakened being. It's not a name of a being. Unless you become a Buddha, an awakened being, you have not lived at all, because you will not know the great poetry of this life, the great music of existence also. This life is filled with so many wondrous things. Every direction that you look, this universe is offering something amazing and new to experience, explore, and discover. There is this genuine sweetness to this life that continuously opens you and fills you up, so that no matter what is going on in the outer world, you can access a cosmic connection that opens your heart and awakens your soul. Every moment of this life has the potential to be deeply enjoyed. It is said that the kingdom of God is found within. And this is right. You, the God that you are, is the kingdom of God. You, the heaven that you are, the God that you are, is within you. We are all here to discover this heavenly presence inside ourselves every second of our lives. We are here to bathe in the sensual succulence of our souls, feel what it's like to be showered with love, acceptance, and appreciation 24 hours a day. This is the first direction to becoming a true living master of your life. The body affords us, the gods that we are, to discover that we are gods in the body. The body affords us basically the knowing or the opportunity or the discovery that we are the gods within the body. The question has been risen many times. What happens if you don't discover that you are the God within the body? Let's say within this lifetime. Well, since our journeys are endless, maybe it'll be another lifetime or another. But eventually, every one of us gods, not the body, will come to a full conclusion of who and what we are in the body. This is one of the main reasons that we enter bodies, is to discover who and what we are. And I know that sounds strange to some, because people would say, well, when you're the God and you leave the body, wouldn't you know as the God that you are the God? Well, you would believe so, right? But we enter the body to discover the gods that we are within the body. And not necessarily do we have the time, right, the short stay that they've genetically engineered for us to stay, be able to stay in the body, what? Anywhere from 70 to 80 to 90 years or less. Now, as I describe the qualities of an enlightened being, I want you to imagine that these qualities are already inside you. They already are. Yet perhaps they may have fallen asleep, like seeds that were planted long ago. They just need some nourishment to sprout. Once these young sprouts have established roots in you, you'll grow deeper and create a firm foundation in a more enlightened reality. This is the sacred inner work of which any enlightened being has done. They have devoted their life to nourishing their internal soul. They've composted the weeds, brought sunlight to their sprouts, helped deepen their roots, and allowed themselves to harvest the nutrients which each plant has to offer. Their level of dedication to their inner garden is so profound that everything else in this life becomes illusory and seems to take the back row. The enlightened being is a natural person. What is that? A normal human being just like you and me. Yet this person has become so intimately connected with nature that they have realized something extremely profound. They know they are not separate from this universe on any level, yet are a living, breathing, divine expression of it. They know they are not separate from this universe on any level, yet are a living, breathing, divine expression of it. The enlightened being has discovered the deepest intimacy with this life. And this intimate connection is integrated in their everyday existence. It is coursing through their breath and the marrow of their bones. This intimacy with existence is so powerful that there is not 1 ounce of fear left in the enlightened being. They love and accept life as it is, seeing the world as a mirror, reflecting the thoughts they think. They understand that no one is separate from the divine multi-faced reflection of their self, showing up in 8 billion plus different disguises. They realize we are all unique individuals operating as one. This sacred understanding is why an enlightened being has real compassion for every living thing in this world, of this world. At the deepest level, the enlightened being has found a profound sense of peace with all that is. They live in a constant state of acceptance of all the darkness and lightness found in this life. They do not judge others, themselves, or this world, for they know what is just. They know that is just a limited, narrow perspective on the truth of existence. They know they are an infinite soul on an eternal journey that has no boundaries on space or time. The enlightened being can live in the 3D world without attachment to this dualistic paradigm and feel connected with their spiritual permanence. In this spiritual dimension is where they are free and feel the deepest love known to humankind. It is this connection with the divine within that causes them to accept all that is in life and totally enjoy the experience of being alive. The enlightened being is a highly sensitive, supersensual person. They are so open, vulnerable, and present to the living pulse of the life force all around them. It's as if they never left their mother's womb. They are living in this sensual connection with life, in harmony with every breath they inhale. It's as if they are the womb itself, receiving the heartbeat of new life, constantly nourishing life, and being nourished by existence. The enlightened being has awakened from the dream. They have accepted the reality as it is. The self-imposed boundaries, mental walls, and personal limitations which they created in the past are no longer entertaining games to play on the infinite field of life anymore. They can see that all thoughts and beliefs are illusionary, obstacles generated by the mind, and that the real truth is so big it cannot be contained by the mind. They know they could spend lifetime trying to overcome these obstacles, to appease the ego, and attain a new experience of growth. Yet they choose the path of total liberation from ego instead. The ego of the enlightened being is no longer running the show anymore. There is a faint memory that is as tangible as their own shadow on the ground, which is behind them, following the trace of the form, wherever it may go. They know the soul is in charge, and the guidance given by it is so clear it can be heard in the middle of the loudest rock concert. There is nothing that an enlightened being cannot understand, experience, or do. There is no mountain too challenging to summit on their inner world, and no desire they cannot manifest in their outer world. An enlightened being is always living in alignment with the totality of their life. They've realized their true spiritual nature and have integrated this awareness into every step and breath they take. They've understood that they are powerful because they are connected to the infinite existence. They know the core beliefs and agreements they make with reality become the laws in which this universe instantly follows. The enlightened being understands the true nature of reality and thus are choosing to live in complete harmony with everything that is. They see how they are synchronistically creating their lives from a blank canvas, and that everything is predestined on their journey. The meeting ground between these two paradigms contributes to bringing such a deep peace inside. When someone meets with an enlightened being, a calming stillness remains with them throughout the day. An aura of peace, gratitude, and joy for this life continues wherever they are. You can feel the healing, calming energy immediately when an enlightened being enters a room. The deep penetrating wisdom they convey takes the mind beyond anything you could ever find on Google. You can know you've met with an enlightened being by the level of heart energy that they emanate. The love pouring out of the enlightened heart has no limitations on what it can love. The love pouring out of the enlightened heart has no limitations on what it can love. It is in love with existence itself. And this love is reflected back in the intimate connection with every being they encounter. The true enlightened being is constantly loved by people because they recognize this love is inside of everything and are sharing this understanding with everyone. There is a great humble presence this knowledge creates within themselves. The enlightened being has realized that we are the source of love itself. An enlightened being is not in need of love. They are the eternal radiance of consciousness everlasting. They experience this entire life as a loving devotion to God and see how love is constantly revealing itself in every person, thought, and thing in this universe. This is why an ordinary day for an enlightened being contains moment-to-moment extraordinary experiences. The realization that everything is God runs deep in their bones. This knowledge causes every movement, action, and gesture they make radiate even more love into this world. Since they see love is all around them all the time, they are not defensive, possessive, or protective of anything. They feel such a closeness with the infinite light of love that you can feel the warmth from their heart. And their eyes seem to shine and sparkle. An enlightening being realizes that everything and everyone in this world is here to awaken and enlighten you further on your path. They see every experience of this life as their greatest teacher. They meet each experience that arises with curiosity, appreciation, and acceptance. This is what truly makes them into the master of their lives. The enlightened being greets their inner demons with reverence, thanking them for their invitation to walk down the road into suffering again, knowing that energy is rich with nutrients for deeper healing and realizations. The enlightened being does not take themselves or life too seriously at all. They instead choose to play with children rather than philosophize with the over-responsible adults. They instead choose to play with the children rather than philosophize with the over-responsible adults. They'd rather skip lightly and freely down to the local store and the new liberating long road back home. The enlightened being walks their own path to greater liberation by helping others find the freedom within themselves. They become a living, breathing example for others to find the truth within. The enlightened being has entered the kingdom of God and has become this awesome, expansive, healing energy inside and itself. They have stopped reacting out of fear, control, demand, or the ego's constant need. What interests them more is effortlessly responding to everything and everyone with an authentic, conscious, heartfelt presence. Believe it or not, the enlightened state is your most natural state of being. The reason you may not experience this is because the mind has simply gotten in the way. It has formulated a set of beliefs about who you are and who you are not. These beliefs block this enlightened experience from coming through. Enlightenment is as natural to life as breathing. The inhalation and exhalation of your breath just happens to you. You don't have to do anything for breathing to occur. The body is naturally in it. And it's not just breathing for you. It is breathing you. It is not just breathing for you. It is breathing you. You are the very life force movement itself. And there can never be a separation from this life force at any time. It takes a very relaxed, quiet mind to understand this and truly feel how the breath moving through you has a life of its own. This is just like the enlightened state of being. It is self-sustaining and self-generating, just like the sun. There is nothing that can stop it, nor snuff it out. By simply bringing your attention to it, you realize it is already here now. So my invitation is for you to take a few practical steps this week into experiencing the enlightened being within you. Make it a priority to water the new sprouts you are growing within. Use your time wisely. Honor your true infinite nature. And know you are an eternal being without boundaries. Let yourself fall in love with this all-powerful divine being you already are. Keep the mind set and relax the body as much as you possibly can. When the mind is truly calm, quiet, and at peace with what is, you can effortlessly slip into this blissful, sweet, enlightened state. It is much easier to do in a mind, right? It is much easier to do in a mind that is beyond fear. Make a special personal sacred time just for yourself every day to go deeper inside in your exploration of finding peace with what is. The more often you water and feed this little sprout within yourself, the easier it is for the enlightened state to take over your life. So it gets a little confusing for the majority of us on this planet when all we have been taught since childhood is out there. Then all of a sudden, some real truths come flooding in, and it says to look within, to be within, to understand why you're here. See, because as lifetimes, as we all reincarnate, right? Eventually, all of us will become enlightened, which means we will no longer live outside of ourselves. Now, many say they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But the material, physical, ego-mind illusion take over and pull them in yesterday and tomorrow. And they spend most of their lives in yesterday and tomorrow. And I know this because when I have talked with the gods, right, that have left the body, their concerns have always been, for the most part, the time that they were in the body and all the effort they put in out there. And it's funny, they say, well, if I could do it again. My answer is, well, you can do it again, but you won't have memory of the life you just left. So they kind of think about it and say, well, that's okay. The God that I am will help me. Those are the ones that know they're the God. What happens to those that don't know they're the God? Right? They'll keep doing it over and over again. And like I said, there's no race. This isn't a race. It's a choice and a decision that we all make, excuse me, to go within. And a lot of people don't know what it is to go within. What does that mean? There's a door where you open in your body and you walk in it, and there's some stairs, you go in a room, and there's the God that you are. Just how exactly does it work? The breath. It's always the breath. When you sit in a place that you're comfortable, and you understand that you do not move, you're a statue, and you focus on the breath. And as you focus on the breath, you move out of the now, right? You move out of yesterday and tomorrow where the ego mind is, and you leave them alone, and you're in the only place that is real, the now. Okay? Now we all know that we have been pushed, spiked, irritated, stressed, because our desire is to be in the now. But we keep getting interrupted. But when you're in a place of total silence and you focus on the now and the breath, everything in your life will change. Isn't it ironic that we spend all this time, generation after generation after generation, of doing what? Out there. Right? And we go on what? Other people's thoughts. Those that tell us, suggest to us. And it seems that you're on a merry-go-round that you can't get off of. And you look at the merry-go-round, you're looking at the ground, right? Remember when you were a kid, if any of you had the experience of being on a merry-go-round? Well, you get it going, and it's going so fast you can't, you're there and you go, well, maybe I can run off of it. And most of the time you stay on it. Because of why? Fear. So we stay on the merry-go-round. Every now and then, we get the urge to get off the merry-go-round. Some of us do. Even when some of us do, the others watch us get off, and it says, well, they didn't get hurt. They didn't stumble and fall. They just stepped off. Well, that means we can do it. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. You can do it, but no, it looks too dangerous. Even after they see that the others have stepped off. That's why when we discover that we're here in these bodies, to rediscover who and what we are, the gods that we are within the body, that we identify with this universe as being what? Us. And we, vice versa, the universe. And you have all the vastness, all of it, all life, in every direction, in every galaxy, in every universe. Infinity. Once you discover, you hold the essence to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Once you discover that you are omnipotently powerful, you are a supreme, pure conscious being that never dies. There's been many instances on this planet where someone, right, wanted to die. And they just got caught up in other people's thoughts and how they were taught with other people's thoughts growing up. And they got to the point where they just would say to themselves, this isn't worth it. This has been a pain in the royal arse. So they're ready to go. And then you say to them, where do you focus most of your time? And they share it. But most of your time's focused on yesterday and tomorrow. And it's all about us learning. It really is. It's about us not getting an education the draconian educational system on this planet. It means experiencing by taking risks in this life, exploring, interacting with different people. Some people you never interacted before with, and you interact with them and you say, wow, this is wild. It isn't about who knows what. It isn't about who's the all-knowing and who isn't. There's a lot of that in the spiritual realm as well, the spiritual area on this planet. You know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that, I'm this and that. What are you? It's insignificant. It's trivial. It really is. Because when it all comes down to it, we're all seeking the God within us. It doesn't really matter the paths that we take. All of us take, we're on the same path, but we take it differently. We eventually end up there anyway. So it depends on how many steps we take, in what direction, and how long. Now, do you step into the God that you are every morning and every night before you close your eyes? I think many people get confused believing that this God within you is the God above you, right? The God within you is the God above you. And the God above you is the God within you. What it boils down to is that there's only one God, right? And that God is you. What about all the others? Same. There's only one God, and that God is you. You want to break that down, that means that we're all gods. And all of us collectively have discovered that we're one. We all make up the one God. We are all supreme, omnipotently powerful beings, super manifestors, supreme reality, that which never changes. That's what we are, that which never dies. Now you can see why, okay? So many people, maybe has been you at times, who knows, only you know, believe that on the outside, pursue the outside, the physical material world. And there's nothing, nor has there ever been anything to pursue outside of you. What does it do for you? Yeah, a little happiness here and there. We're not talking about, I think some people believe, or you believe that, well, if that's the case, then why live? If that's the case, why live? Because you live to find the God that you are within the body and then really be in deep gratitude about this life. And we have many distractions. How often are you distracted if and when you're breathing in a quiet place and you wander off? You're in yesterday or tomorrow. And the intriguing part of that is that you just turn into the breath, you focus on the breath, and you stay in the now. And see, we're so used to thinking. We have to think about this. I've got to think about this, right? So the ego mind can talk you out of it or talk you into it. That's why the ego mind is saying, I've got to think about this. You can't expect me to make a decision right now. I've got to give it some time. Well, the ego mind is the master, and it's the one asking for time so it can figure out whether or not it's good to pursue or good not to pursue. Now, when you go into enlightenment and you pray to the God within you, and let's say you want something and you know that you'll have it. You have no concern about how, when, where, or why. You just know it will come, and the universe is in charge. You put it out to the universe, and that's it, and it's in charge. Impatience is ego mind. Hurrying, right, is ego mind. Rushing is ego mind. Every time we gear it up and the ego mind gets us and it's rushing us and pressuring us and pushing us for something, okay, on the material physical world, we damage the soul. Okay? We damage the soul. But how many people on this planet even know that? How many know it? Well, maybe a scratch fraction. Because if you know that, if and when you know it, you'll never be in a hurry. You'll never rush. You'll never press and push and poke yourself into hurriedness. No matter what time it is, what's going on, you go slow. It doesn't feel good, does it, when you rush? Does it ever feel good to you? No. It doesn't feel good at all. If anything, it's draining. And we're always worried about missing something. Well, I got to hurry because I can't afford to miss that. Can't afford to miss it. What, you don't have enough money? Can't afford? Or you're worried about you won't get the knowledge base, so you won't be exposed to it? Worried. Stress. Anxiety. None of those things are good for this body. None of them. And then we start to understand that what destroys these vessels we're in? Stress. Which then it converts itself into what? Biological. So in this quiet time of this global guided meditation call, focus on the breath. Stay completely still as a statue. Focus on the breath, which will bring you into the now, and you'll leave the mind and ego alone, and you begin to understand who and what you are. It's no other way. It's the only way. The breath, the gateway to the now, and communion with the God that you are. That's true bliss. And that is always available within us all. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in from the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Love and honor yourself. You are already whole and complete exactly as you are. When you realize this, you invite everyone else to do the same. And your entire world changes for the better. Healing happens from within this place of wholeness. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We'll return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the continuation of the Time for Change call. And Thursday, April 6th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what is going on around you.